What's up, everybody? It's a new day, but it all feels old. It's a good life. That's what I'm told. I decided not to get the screens ready yesterday. I just came in and kind of, what do I want to say here? What do I want to say? Is my neighbor watching me? I feel like my neighbors are watching me. I feel really awkward doing this out in the back, in the wide open space where the public can view me. I'm self-conscious. Here I am though, facing my fears. Alright, so I decided not to get these screens and everything ready last night. Today I will be getting the screens ready. I am wearing the same shirt as yesterday. It doesn't matter. I'm not trying to impress anyone. Yeah, I'm gonna go get some food, I'm gonna get a workout in, and then I'm going to get the screens ready and start unboxing these orders, getting them all laid out so I can start printing over the weekend and start printing this coming week in order to get everything ready in time for my customers' deadlines. I'm totally done with the weddings. I also have been talking to a couple people who have wedding videography businesses, so I think I'm gonna start working more as a second shooter and doing less booking and less editing of the weddings, because that's my least favorite part. Even though that's doing that, you make so much more money, but the cool thing about just working as a videographer is that your hands are not tied. You go, you shoot, you're done, you get paid. When you're booking a wedding, it's there's a lot of back and forth communication, talking to your bride, or the bride, trying to get the wedding booked, making sure that you know exactly what they want, answering a lot of questions, a lot of back and forth, and then once the day comes, there's a lot more responsibility on you, and then once it's done, you gotta get all the editing done, and it's just a lot more work. So rightfully so, you get paid a lot more to do it. But I'm gonna try to focus on this business right here and my music and my YouTube, free myself up, give myself a little more time by taking the weddings business out of the picture for me and just second shooting for other people. I got an email recently from somebody I got an email from somebody yesterday who wants me to do their product review for a wireless microphone. I'm excited about it because it makes me feel like a real life YouTuber. I feel like I made it, Mom. Are you proud of me yet? Are you proud? It's a cheap microphone, so I'm not expecting it to be amazing, and I'm just gonna be honest about it. It's funny because my last review video was an unboxing, and it went horrible. It might be funny if I just intentionally horribly review this product. They're not paying me either, so maybe I should have asked for money, I don't know. But if anybody out there wants me to review anything, if you have any clothing that you have a brand or anything like that, send it my way. I'm all for free stuff. And I do have 10,000 subscribers, so it's a great way to get some attention for you and free stuff for me. So here we go. At this point in my career, I'm kind of reluctant to take big customers. I'm sure I could handle it to an extent, but once I have the auto, I'll be less reluctant because the consistency of an automatic press it's consistent on every single pass because it's a machine that's pressing, it's not manually done. And then also its volume turns out so much more quickly. So if I landed a customer who needs thousands of stuff frequently, that sounds so dumb. If I got a customer who needed thousands of items frequently, then I would probably be in a little bit of a pickle with my current setup. So I'm trying to strategically wait until I have a bigger capacity to turn around higher volume work due to my equipment, rather than trying to get big customers that I can't really handle until I get big equipment. And of course I could do more volume now too and still be alright, but it's just one of those things where it's I don't want to stress myself out too bad and print constantly, because there's other things that I'm trying to do as well. And once I have the auto, I'll be able to just hit the ground running. I just need to get the auto set up, which will take some time. Also just learn the ins and outs of using it, which I already have used autos before, so it's not completely foreign to me, but that's kind of my thought process on taking that step into the automatic side of the business, which I have yet to do with screen printing for my own business, but have worked on autos for one of my previous jobs as a screen printer at a factory. I'm gonna go eat, get the artwork printed out, go to the gym, wash out screens of that artwork, lay out the shirts, hoodies, and then it's probably gonna be kind of late in the day at that point, and me and my girlfriend are hanging out today, so I'm going to probably call it a wrap for that, not getting a ton done today, but I'm still on top of the deadlines, and that's what's most important. And it's also kind of like the beauty of being your own boss, is that you have like the liberty or the luxury of kind of managing your time with more flexibility than somebody who might be working a 9 to 5. It's still you have to make sure that you're on top of your deadlines, otherwise you're going to leave a lot of people unhappy and they're not going to return their business and stuff like that. So you gotta make sure you manage it correctly, but it is a nice luxury, I guess you could call it, for being like a self-employed small business owner. Okay, so this happens sometimes where I get like so sidetracked. Oh my gosh. Luckily I have a good amount of time to get what I need done, so I wouldn't be letting myself get sidetracked if that wasn't the case. But so I think I might be like guest speaking at my old high school. I just Facebook messaged my old teacher, and I said, do you want me to come in one of your classes sometime and brag about how awesome of a teacher you are, and then I'm your biggest success story, and then brag about myself, because I'll do that. She said, well, sure, I need a sub for Monday. She had me apply for substitute teaching position for her, which I did like 2 years ago, and then I don't even know if I filled out the right application because the website that she directed me to was so confusing. And I literally, not exaggerating, I spent 2 hours filling out this application form to substitute teach that I don't even think was the right school or position. It was so confusing. But she said, you're welcome back anytime next week. I said, that would be fun. Can I vlog it? So I might be vlogging some not substitute teaching, but guest speaking at my old high school next week. I'm a little nervous just thinking about it. Why should I be? They're just little stupid high school kids anyway. You gotta go in with no respect, otherwise I give them too much respect. I get nervous, so I gotta be like, I don't care about you. Just kidding. It's just for my ego. It's funny because this teacher and I like notoriously didn't get along. I just shared on Instagram, I said, remember to always stay humble, which is obviously sarcasm. To my former high school / trade school interactive media teacher, I used to think I was her least favorite student, but I think I may be her favorite now. Maybe I always was. The only ever suspension I got was from her. And then I just hashtagged like trolling, stay humble, and gosh, that cracked me up. Seriously though, like we used to butt heads so much. Like, I've never not gotten along with the teacher as badly as her. Well, actually, that's not true. I used to get in a lot of trouble in grade school and stuff. Okay, anyway. I think, yeah, like I said, my time hasn't been managed very well these past 2 days, but my girlfriend should actually be coming over within like an hour or so. So I got the artwork ready for IFHP, which is Taylor's clothing brand. He's a YouTube customer. I got the revision back for the 500-piece t-shirt order, so I'm gonna organize the layers of that artwork and get that ready to print the films for both orders. I coded screens a couple days ago, so I got a bunch of screens ready to go. We're gonna need about anywhere between 11 to 15 screens for these 2 orders. And so yeah, then I'll wash the screens out. I just feel tired and stuff. What's wrong with me? I'm gonna get all those screens ready and then lay the shirts out, and then I'll probably start printing this weekend and try to finish Taylor's order this weekend, and then I'll probably try to finish Taylor's order this weekend and then do the 500-piece order this coming week. I just need to make sure that I get it done by not this coming Monday, but the next Monday, so that I can ship it out, because I think you need like at least 3 business days to ship standard ground, which I don't want to pay for anything more than standard because it's such a big difference. I'm out of it today. Ugh, man, I hate days like this, but I guess that just goes to show that like even on a day that you don't have the best motivation or the highest energy, you can still be productive, and rest is also important so that you can re-energize yourself and come back with good energy levels. I've meant to go to the gym. I have just not been doing what I've been planning. I still need to shave. Get it together, Kev. All right, I'm gonna show you guys what this looks like. For my artwork here, we got 2 different designs. This is the acronym, like the logo, and then this is the artwork. As you can see, it's all black. That's just for the film positive purpose. You have to print in 100% black, otherwise the RIP software is what they're called for screen printing. It automatically converts anything that's not 100% black into halftones. So if I did that, then it has to be 100% black. So you can't really see the detail of the design or the colors it's gonna be. I do have this is what it's gonna look like. So that's getting printed on the backs, and then that's getting printed on the fronts, except what you see in black there, I already converted to black, so that's actually gonna be gray. So over here we have my layers. So I have mislabeled that. This is actually going to be a full back. So that's full back. I have these like already here because usually I'll usually just drag and drop artwork into this template. I call it my starter registration template. So that way, like, I've got all this stuff organized, like, so it makes it easy for me to get people's artwork organized as quickly as possible. Like if they want it to be 5 inches wide, I'll go down here, I'll check the 5-inch thing, and then it'll come up with these rulers that tell me how wide 5 inches are right there. That helps me to organize customers' artwork more quickly, and I just basically open this starter registration template, and then I open up the customer's artwork, and then I drag it into the registration template. I size it accordingly. I move my registration marks. I'll resave it and rename it like the PO number of the customer. Like for instance, this is IFHP number 1. Number 1 stands for order number 1 because it's their first order with me. So if he had ordered 30 orders, hopefully Taylor, we end up doing 30 or more orders, and your business and your brand grows and you have a need to place that many orders, and you're happy with me for that long of a period of time, that you would bring me that many orders over time. That's the goal with any customer I work with. For instance, there's a bar around town that we're on our 27th order, I think. Might be a little more than that. I just basically keep track of all my customers' orders that way. So like every time I get a new customer, I have my notes here. I can actually show you guys that if you're curious to see. So here we got my notes. I have my notes app. That's synced with my iPhone, so it's cool because I can always reference it on the go, just on my phone. If somebody's placing an order and I'm not at my desktop, I can open my notes app on my phone and go to their order history, input their new order information. It's also useful because I can go back and reference previous orders. Just keeps things organized, which is important. So like for instance, here we got, this is a new order that's about to be placed for my customer. His name is Anton Simmons. We're on order number 5. He's gonna be ordering bucket hats, joggers, and t-shirts. Probably be better if I just screen captured this stuff, but I'm not. So like he wants 50 bucket hats. These are the links to the different types of bucket hats we have available that I think he'll like. Here's the cost for embroidery. Here's the cost for each hat. These are the order details. You come down here, you see like the quantities that he wants in each color per garment. Then we got your t-shirts. His sizes were not confirmed yet, but he gave me the colors in each quantity. That's the link to the shirt that he wants. That's the cost per shirt before printing. These are the joggers. That was the link he wanted. That's the cost per joggers before printing. That's the quantities in each color. A little side note of black lettering on the yellow ones. That's the cost per print location for a single print location, double print. He's placed previous orders with me, so here are like, you know, previous order informations. You know, like I'll add up the totals of everything: cost to embroider, cost of the hats, cost of the other kind of hats, for doing puff embroidery, for doing a custom Pantone, color changes. There's your total, that's after tax. And then as you can see, I have, you know, Faith Fellowship, we got Radius Concepts. This is a goofy name for a character on a video game I play. Queen City Exchange, Richard. This was some lyrics that my bandmate wanted me to write down. That was for my YouTube channel getting demonetized. Taylor's. This guy tried to scam me recently, I think. This guy was talking about placing a $6,000 order, which I was super excited about because that's a big order for me. He seemed legitimate and he had artwork and everything. He sent it over to me. He was really responsive and like articulate, which is a good sign. A lot of times when people try to scam me, they like have broken English. Not to say that anybody with broken English is untrustworthy, but it's, at least in my experience, been the case that a lot of the time that I've encountered people who are trying to scam me, they do not speak English very well. That's a red flag in some cases. Also, just there were other things that I'm going to talk about in another video, but basically this guy, I think, tried to scam me because I looked into it and I looked him up and I found him online and it just seemed fake. So my sister got scammed for like thousands of dollars recently, and it was weird though because they had her buy like eBay cards and then they took her money somehow. I forget how it worked, but like I ended up buying like security stuff for my business in order to help her spend the thousands of dollars that she lost by purchasing thousands on eBay. She didn't technically like lose money in a way because I paid her to buy the stuff for me, which I needed anyway. So it ended up working out for both of us, but you gotta be careful. I've had so many people try to scam me. I've also had customers who've kind of taken advantage of me just through my lack of experience and business savvy. So it's something that you learn a lot over time, and just through dealing, you learn a lot about stuff like that over time, simply through experience, like real world experience. I mean, you can read about it and you can sort of like get a good idea of how to protect yourself and not make yourself susceptible to anything like that. But the best way you're gonna learn is sometimes the hard way, unfortunately. Sometimes it's just through people trying you, and you don't always have to learn the hard way, but you still have to deal with the people. I have almost been scammed by a website company, by people who just find me on YouTube, people who find me on social media. It's all kinds of stuff, but you just gotta be careful and kind of trust your instincts, and also be savvy and like intelligent, I guess, enough to see a scam when there is a scam. Just trying to help you guys out if anybody's trying to start a business, and especially screen printing, obviously, because that's what I do, but that's definitely applicable to any kind of business and anybody that you're talking to. You should always kind of try to be conscious of that. Anyway, I got a ton of notes here. Customer order history, customer order history, order history, order history, order history, order history, order history, order history. These were the 10 questions I asked my girlfriend for the pie challenge. Idea for my recording studio. I was thinking about calling it Matchstick Studios. Let me know what you think. Do you like that? Matchstick Studios? And then I feel like that would be a pretty easy name of a business to conceptualize the logo for, which was kind of partially the reason why I liked it, but also because it only takes one spark to set you on fire. Dong, right? That would be pretty, like an epic slogan. So I've kind of liked that. I also like the idea of Clockwork Studios, or like Empire, or Mogul, or I don't know. I've been thinking of a lot of different names for potential studio business name. Let me know what you think, or if you guys have any suggestions or ideas, I'm all for it. Also, let me know what you think about me changing the name of my promotional products business. For a while, I've been running with TLC Custom Products, but I mostly do apparel, and I want to get like a big monument sign in my front yard at some point, which is not going to be inexpensive. It'll probably cost thousands of dollars. So I want to be like 100% sure that I'm happy with like the name of my business before I spend thousands of dollars on a monument sign and like get my warehouse painted and branded and my logo done and my website and all that stuff. Like, I don't want to go to that length and only to decide I want to change the name of my business in the near future. So I think what I want to go with is custom apparel. Just custom apparel. That's it. Not just custom apparel, but just custom apparel. What do you guys think? Do you like that better than TLC Custom Products? The idea behind TLC Custom Products was that it was the live collection is what I started with. The live collection was unrelated to this at all. That was just like me doing live music videos. It was like a collection of live music videos, so I called it the Live Collection. And then I wanted to make a clothing brand, and I thought the Live Collection would be like a kind of cool, hip little name for that. Never made the brand, but I still had I used the Live Collection to get my LLC, so my LLC to this day is the Live Collection LLC. And then I got chosen to be a part of the University of Cincinnati's business program, where I worked with like grad students who were going to be working in like law. I was like their final project, or one of them, I think. They would meet with me regularly, ask me questions about my business, and then assess what type of legal documents that I would need that would be the most useful. And then it was their job as the students, working with their instructors, to create legal documents for me, it was a really cool thing to be a part of, and I'm really grateful. I got actually recommended to be a part of this group through a SCORE meeting. SCORE is a free program for anybody out there who wants to start a business. You should look into SCORE. It's been life-changing for me. It's basically a free nonprofit organization where you go and you meet with really, really successful and experienced business experts, and they're all from different areas of business. So I've met people who mass-produced printing. I met someone in the film industry. One of the guys who came in was the lead behind the thing that I got accepted to for UC to be a part of that program. He happened to be one of the SCORE mentors that I met with that day, and he was impressed with me, I guess, and he extended that offer to me and said that, I'd really like you to be a part of this program. I need you to fill out these forms by this date in order to be considered. And so I immediately was all excited, and I filled it out ASAP and sent it over, and they accepted me. SCORE was recommended to me through this multimillionaire business entrepreneur in Cincinnati who owns multiple venues downtown. I met him randomly at Motor, which is a small venue on Main Street downtown. It was before I was this involved, and I was at this point in my life. I was at this point in my life where I was so certain. I was I'm gonna do, this is my ambition, is to start my own venue where I have a lot of local bands at first, and then we start getting the B-list musicians around the country, and then maybe even start getting A-list musicians to come in and perform, and we can create merch for those people. We can do live video performances of the concert. We can sell the performance of that show to the people there while they're there and make it a whole experience, and also make posters and merchandise, CDs, music videos, basically have a recording studio, a venue with a bar, get a liquor license, and then mass produce apparel and promotional products. That was my master plan when I was starting, and I was how do I do this though? And I started looking into venues and how to get a liquor license, how much it would cost, and I even got a tour of this old movie theater that was owned by Mike Reeder from Mike's Music, which I did a documentary on, and he tried to sell it to me. He gave me a whole tour of the place. He offered to sell it to me for, I think, $250,000, which at the time I had no money, and I was there is absolutely no way I could even entertain the idea of potentially buying this. It's funny because now he has turned it into a venue, and he is trying to do a recording studio, and he is trying to do music videos and stuff like that there, which more power to him. But it's just funny because it was kind of my idea, and he said he thought about it too, so I can't knock him. Maybe he did, and I'm not the one who planted the seed, but maybe I am. Also, by the way, I did this documentary with him, and then he said that the documentary was his idea. Nah, bro, I met with you, and I was we should do a documentary. Have you ever thought of doing a documentary? I just think it's funny how sometimes people claim your ideas as theirs, and I don't mean to sound oh, I thought of it first, because everybody kind of gets inspired by other people, but it's I think it's important to give people credit where credit's due, and I always just felt he didn't really give me the credit that I deserved because I offered a lot of help. I even suggested doing profile videos of different guitars in his shop. He didn't want to ever pay me what I thought was a fair price to be paid to do this amount of work, so nowadays it's funny because he's doing videos like that, but the quality is very low, which is also fine. There's been so many times where people have talked to me about something, and then I didn't necessarily pay them or hire them to do it, but I was just that's a good idea, I'll try to do that myself. I can't knock somebody for that, and I don't want to because I just think that that's kind of self-centered or something. But I don't know, sometimes I feel there's been so many times in my life where I deserved more credit than I got, and that was definitely, there was a series of events that was one of them. But not to get too sidetracked, I was at Motor, and I was with some friends, and there was a fire outside in the back, and we were drinking, having a good time, and a friend of mine was that's the owner of Motor right there. I was how do you know? He's I just know, I don't know. He was real into the little dive bar scene, and he knew he was really into music and stuff too. So, but he pointed him out to me, and we were sitting around the fire, and this guy's literally just sitting right next to me, just hanging out. Like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, and I think it's important to think like this especially when you're trying to be entrepreneurial, go after stuff. Like, you have to recognize where the opportunities are, and then also try to capitalize on them. And so I was thinking to myself, like, here's the owner of this really successful venue in Cincinnati. It's just a little bar, but they have awesome bands play there all the time, and they're obviously like doing really well. And then there was also a bar right across the street, or a venue called the Woodward Theater, that he owned that, and which I learned from talking to him this night. But I brought it up to him. I was like, I want to start my own venue, and how did you get started? And it was just an amazing conversation. He was an incredibly nice guy. I whipped out my phone as he's talking, and I started taking notes of all this stuff that he's telling me about. And he's like suggesting different organizations for me to get involved with that he said that he got involved with before he had his venue. And one of them was SCORE. There was another program in Cincinnati, but these aren't just in Cincinnati, they're all over the country, so you can, if you want to do this, you can. But he recommended a couple different organizations to me, which I looked into all of them, but SCORE was the one that I really followed through with the most, and it just seemed to kind of fall into place. He said SCORE like helped change his life a lot, and that they helped him phenomenally, and it was free, and you get to meet with all these business executives. They're literally retired business executives who are doing this as like a charity to their communities. Probably really rewarding for them to help people. Also maybe a tax write-off, I don't know, but they have so much knowledge and expertise, and they're just so seasoned, especially for someone like me who was literally completely green. I'd go in there and I'd sometimes walk out with my tail between my legs because I felt like, wow, I just got put in my place. But I needed that, you know, like a lot of people, I've recommended other people to it who went, and they're like, oh yeah, like it wasn't for me, and it didn't help or whatever. But I think it has a lot to do with your ego and having a thick skin, or at least trying to develop that, because I would go in there and like I would leave sometimes thinking like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna go back. Like, I don't know if I feel like that was productive, or like they didn't tell me what I want to hear, you know. And then I'd tell myself, I'd be like, that's not the right mentality. Like, you have to let people sometimes tell you what you don't want to hear in order to like, sometimes you have to hear what's the hardest to hear in order to make the necessary changes to be successful, whether those are changes in your lifestyle or your actions or your schedule, or which is like your lifestyle, but whatever. Like, just, you have to be open-minded to people who may actually know more than you, and be willing to admit that to yourself, and not always put yourself on a pedestal and make it out to be like you know what's best. Because there's been so many people in my life that I've tried to be humble with, and tried to not be full of myself, basically, and just like go into a meeting or a conversation with the thought in mind that like, I know nothing, I'm a sponge, I'm trying to absorb knowledge in order to be successful and be the best that I can be, and make my company the best that it can be, and reach my goals. So anyway, I met this guy at Motor, and I asked him a million questions. He actually taught me how to book starting out. He said, you know, you just start local, and then you go for like, he said there's like 2 agencies in the entire country, and he's like, if one band that you're looking for isn't on the one, they're on the other. He named the agencies for me. I had it written down. I don't know if I still do, but they were in my notes. That's why these notes apps are so awesome, because you can just store it in there on the fly and reference it anytime. Like, I have like probably hundreds of notes, which is maybe a little bit hoarderish, but it's good, it's useful. You can always go back on a rainy day and try to find something, and you might stumble upon like things that you didn't even, you know you still had, or whatever, and they might spark a flame or whatever. But he's like, so yeah, you want to just start local to get your reputation going, to get people in the door, start booking a lot of bands, you know, have them play for free, maybe pay them a little bit, start paying more. Your drink sales are going, your reputation's growing. Then you go, he said it's like the minor and major leagues in baseball, where you have like really good minor league level players, and you start to go after those, and then eventually you make it to the big leagues, and you start going after like the A level, like the real pro level musicians, which it's always been a dream of mine to work with like the major league musician level, major league level musicians. So, and I always thought to myself, like, damn, I'm not, how am I gonna make that happen, was kind of my thought process. It's like, I'm not talented enough as a musician. I can't sing well enough or play guitar well enough. I don't have engineering experience to make myself have the facade of being better than I am. I can't overproduce this or that. I don't know people who can, but I'm trying to like develop these connections. Like with David, he's growing, I'm growing, we're building a studio. And I just thought, like, you know, if like this isn't just gonna fall into my lap, this opportunity, I don't think I'm gonna hit the lottery and it's just gonna happen for me. I knew that I wasn't just gonna hit the lottery and get lucky, and that I'd have to, if I really wanted this to happen in my life, that I'd have to do something about it. That's what I'm doing now. Like what you see in these videos, that's really kind of like the main motivating factor behind it. I mean, there's certainly other motivating factors, and actually there's a lot of different ones. It's a complex thing, just as most things are, I guess, but a huge reason why I started doing this was music, and was to connect with people that were like, that I aspired to work with, basically. I thought, you know, how can I make this happen? How can I, because I wanted to shoot music videos for like my favorite musicians, and I wanted to play with my favorite musicians and make their merchandise and record them and just be like involved. I wanted to be like, people to think of me as like that guy, like that's the guy who you need to talk to, like he's got the connections. And I just wanted to feel like a part of that movement or that community, or something sort of like Motown, you know, where it's like we got like this historical movement in music or something ridiculous like that. I figured if I was able to make connections with musicians like that over time, even if it's through printing or something, then maybe one day I can talk to them about like, hey, where do you guys record? Hey, you give me some pointers on making my own music. And I figured, you know, maybe even get cool with some of them. Hey, can we feature each other on a track? Something like that. I was just trying to mastermind some way to figure out how to like get to that level of in the music industry. Yeah, this is kind of my journey in the startup life, if I'm being honest. I decided, you know, I'm gonna try to play a lot of music and get good at music. I want to start recording my own stuff. You know, I'm just gonna do it myself because I don't have the connections, I don't have the money, I don't have the know-how right now. But if I keep working, you know, maybe I can get better as a musician. Maybe I can meet people who will play with me who are really talented and can help me produce really great instrumentals, or sing with me, or we can ghostwrite, or like, I just want to be involved in like really cool music. I love music, you know, and it's not even any one particular genre either. I would reach out to musicians all the time, just trying to make these connections. And that's what it's all about, people. It's like, I hate to be preachy and like stand on my soapbox, but like, I feel like pretty much anything you want to do in life, you have to be resourceful and you have to be good at communicating, and you need to network with people. And so I was trying to network. I mean, that was one thing they drilled into my head in college, was like network. Like that's what college is for. And once you graduate, everything that you do in your career is about networking. Obviously you have to have some know-how and the right attitude and the right skill set, but like all of that stuff can be developed just like networking can. I just thought to myself, like, I think people can generally do anything they put their mind to. If somebody can figure out a way to make airplanes fly, or a rocket go to space, or land on the moon, or cure diseases, then like me trying to get to this point with music is totally reachable. It's not to say it's going to be easy or even happen for sure, but I like to remind myself that like it's not an unrealistic ambition, nor is pretty much anything you want to do, whether it's to become a professional athlete or to do something less extraordinary, I guess. Like, you know, if you want to be a doctor, or you want to be a police officer, or you want to be a chef, or like whatever. I mean, there's levels to everything. There's nothing wrong with whatever level it is that you want to get to, in my opinion. And I don't consider it underachieving if you don't want to be like way high up in an organization or in a community, because everybody has different things that they seek in life, and that's okay. Sometimes it's like a process to understand that, and I guess it has been for me, but I've always kind of felt like that anyways. But throughout my life, I've just been so captivated and obsessed with music and cameras and art and like creating. Like I guess like the whole idea of like the creator on YouTube, you know, like I think of myself as a creator. Like I love to make things. I love to edit and shoot video and make merchandise and apparel and print. And I used to make art a lot, and I love making music, and I just like creating. I want to make skits, and I want to get into woodworking and watchmaking. I just like doing things with my hands, and I like being creative. And for anybody out there who is trying to figure it out, I guess my advice would be just go for it, work really hard at it, don't give up, be persistent, be consistent, and also to just continue through your ups and downs and pick up where you left off if you have to, and just keep driving that towards your goal, and you're going to get closer and closer to it. And you might not meet your goal in the same way that you imagined it. You probably won't, and you might not get to it in the same way. Like once you get to that goal, the goal might have changed, and your idea of how you got to it will probably be different than how you actually do. It certainly is the case for me, and I don't know where this journey is taking me. I don't know where I'm going to end up, but I have an idea of an ambition of where I want to land, or at least like a general vicinity of like what I'm trying to get towards. And that always is changing as well. Like as I start developing different things in life, and as I start to find success in one area more than the other, and I figure out what is like more of my natural inclination, what I'm more passionate about, what I like more, what I'm more naturally gifted at, I guess. I think that's just things that anybody figures out through life experiences. And I know I'm rambling, and I know I like to talk, and I guess you guys know that too, but I just also wanted to fill this up because I'm not going to be doing as much as I thought today, but I just wanted to drop some of what's on my mind. I think maybe after a certain point in time with these videos, I'm going to start to compartmentalize them, where like I'll have a playlist of videos where I ramble like this, and then I won't have to feel guilty about rambling, because you guys will know like, okay, this is one of his rambling videos, like, oh God, stay away from that, or like, oh, I love these videos. But at least you'll know, like I'll have a dedicated approach to doing more of the like talking head type of videos, which will probably, if anything, be more like my podcast stuff, where I can just talk for 2 hours or 3 hours or 1 hour and just go on and talk with somebody, or just express ideas or whatever, talk about things. And then I will also have startup life videos that maybe will consist of less talking. I think what I'm gonna go for is like a short form highlight montage of every order that I do. Pick a song or two, I'll have a videographer come in, they'll document the whole day, they'll try to get artistic, cinematic, creative angles, and that way we can take the best footage from what they've shot while I produce an order, and then we can cut all that together. There'll still be probably a little bit of talking inserts in there. It'll kind of be like a wedding highlight video, but just for my printing business. That way you guys can keep up to date with what I'm doing. I can show you the process. I can still do some talking, but it won't be as wordy. Right now it's just super wordy because I'm still figuring out my channel, I'm still figuring out my life, and I'm still figuring out like the work involved in like making the videos I want to make, and then also getting like the right team of people to help me do that. So this is just what I'm working on right now. I'm sure if I come back in 2 years and rewatch this video, and then I will be able to reflect on the progress I've made since vocalizing what I'm trying to accomplish. Anyway, sorry if I seem scattered. I know I was just talking about like the motor owner and talking to him, and then him recommending Score and yada yada yada. Yeah, let me get back to this art real quick, and then I'm gonna probably sign off. But the full back skeleton, and then you got like, you take your, like if you hide everything, so you got your white base layer, which is just everything, 100% black, and then you got, this is red, so there's like a rose and a tie that are gonna be red. This is gonna be printed in black ink. This is a white top layer. This is a gray layer. And when you print all of those together, that's 5 different frames right there. It will look like this. Also, sorry if this graphic offends anybody, but I'll just leave that there. I think I quoted him for 4 colors on this, but I already quoted him. I'm not gonna charge him for the 5th color because I didn't think about having a white top. I could double print the white base, but I think printing the white top is gonna make it look way more sharp, and so that, you know, quality is what comes first. So that's that. And then there's also the back print, which has a white top, gray, red, and an underbase. So that's a 4-color back, 5-color front. So there's 9 screens right there. And then I have 6 screens on the other one, 7 screens. So there's gonna be, I think there's gonna be around 16 screens for these 2 upcoming orders, which is quite a lot. So I'm gonna get all those screens ready, get these films printed out now that everything's sized accordingly, print all that artwork out, and then I can start getting the frames ready in the garage and then laying the shirts out. And then this weekend, like I said, I'm gonna try to print these hoodies, and then this coming week, crank out that 500 piece order so that it's done by the following Monday. I'm gonna stop talking now. I love doing this, as you guys can probably tell. So thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all your support. I'm still demonetized at this point. My whole channel got demonetized, for those of you who don't know. They didn't really tell me why. They didn't warn me. It just happened out of nowhere. So it was pretty shocking and also sad. But it was a bummer, yeah, for sure. So I'm gonna try to figure out what I need to do to get my channel remonetized. In the meantime though, if you want to support me, I don't make a living off YouTube anyway, but I do get a lot of business through it. So if you do want to support me in what I do, you can always place an order for any screen printing or embroidery. We do like custom apparel mostly, so if you want anything done, please send me an email, or you can comment below and I can direct you to the email. My email is thelivecollection@gmail.com. Tell me what you guys think about changing my business name to just Custom Apparel over TLC Custom Products. I was explaining how I got, that was right, I was explaining how I got the LLC for the Live Collection, and then I went to the UC thing through SCORE, University of Cincinnati legal thing, and then they got me a DBA. DBA stands for Doing Business As, so it's a way to operate with a different name for your business legally, but you're still under the umbrella of your LLC. So like I'm still the Live Collection LLC, but I also have a DBA for TLC Wedding Videos, and I have a DBA for TLC Custom Products. And I think I have a DBA for TLC Wedding Photography as well, but I already bought like a domain name for, I've bought TLC Custom Products, I've bought Get Custom Apparel, I've bought TLC Wedding Videos. I used to have the Live Collection, but when I started operating as TLC Custom Products, I wanted it to be more direct, because if I told somebody my name is the Live Collection, they'd be like, what do you do? I also was paying a lot of attention to like other businesses locally and what their names were, like, and the name always should give the customer an idea of what you do. I guess not always, because if you think of Apple, it's like you have no idea what that is, but it's such a big company and so successful that you know what it is. So yeah, you can name your company something that maybe they won't know what you're doing, but for the sake of marketing, in my case, I think that'll be the smartest way to approach it, the most direct approach. So I think I'm gonna change it to just Custom Apparel. That way people will know, like, I make custom apparel. That's it. It's super straightforward. I don't know if that's like boring. It was TLC Custom Products because TLC is the acronym for the Live Collection, so that way I was kind of staying with the roots of the idea of the company. And then also TLC makes me think of like Tender Love and Care, which I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. Like it makes you think of like, oh, there's TLC put into every order, you know, like I take time to make sure things are done lovingly. Anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know. Thanks for watching, and I'll keep you up to date on how these orders go, and I'm gonna document that stuff, and that'll be coming up here soon. Hopefully my channel will get monetized. I'm gonna delete, I think, pretty much everything off my channel before the startup life started. That way, when I resubmit to get monetized, maybe part of my problem was that like I had made skate videos back in the day that were using copywritten music or something. I try to get rid of all that stuff just for the sake of reapplying and hopefully making it happen and not having any concern about them getting back to me and being like, oh, well, here, you still have this on your channel and we, you know, now we definitely can't monetize you or something terrible like that. So anyway, for like the 900th time, thank you guys for watching. Please like, please subscribe. If you want to support me, place an order, thelivecollection@gmail.com. Love your comments, love your support. Seriously, it's been wonderful. Thank you for anybody out there who's placed orders. If you want to place an order, we can hash out your order details. So if you don't know exactly what you want right away, that's okay. Like, I'll help you figure it out. That's what I do. See you guys. Thanks for watching.